Right, welcome back. The fifth race at 1450, tab for racing app, Fillies and Mares 90 handicap over 1600 meters. Your favorite here is number 5, Wings of Fire, and the consistent horse who's running well, Louis Makotwa. Sheldon, they got it up at 22 to 10. Looks the likely favorite.
Yes, looking at Wings of Fire from the Sharon Kotzen stable, we'll be looking for a big performance from the yard on the day. We're following a few runners earlier on. 3 runs back, faded right out of contention, and then hinted at a form return, went fourth to Irish Rain, and the last run a cracking effort, making some late progress when running second behind Rattle Mouse. Most of the form has been on the poly track. So if you look in black and white, 3 of the 4 wins have been recorded on the poly track. So you can say she's possibly better on the poly. But if you look at her turf form, she has got a win, 2 thirds and 2 fourths to her credit. She's also got a course and distance win under the belt. So one of the live wires. Number 3, Go Lightly, led around 3 to 1. Another horse who's won course and distance. 2 out of the 5 wins on the turf track. So could also just prefer the poly track. And then a little bit of a roughie, number 1, Princess Khaleesi at around 14 to 1. If you look at her form, distance-wise, 3 of her wins have been achieved over the distance. Course-wise, 4 wins. She's a 7-time winner. And I just feel that she's been vulnerable over the 2,000 meter trip in the past. So I think back to the 1600, she could be the value as far as the exactors and the swingers go at 14 to 1.
I agree with you. Bringing it back down to mile, I think a major move. And again, you'd need a few horses here because, as you say, Wings of Fire, the 3 wins have been on the poly, but the turf forms, it's definitely acceptable. Alan's got Bling riding for him, Bling Kumalo on Go Lightly. And what do you think? If you have a look at that Rattle Mouse form, you think, whoa, you know, on the 8th of July, is it going to turn it on Wings of Fire?
Well, looking at the comments there, Slow did not settle. So obviously took a bit of a hold on that occasion over the 1800. Perhaps bring him back down to the 1600. Another horse who's got the 4 of the 5 wins over the 1600. So that could be the recipe for success.
Yeah, is there anything else you'd like to throw in? Let's talk about Hearties, because we both know it well. Hearties from Dean Canamere stable. Comes in very lightweight. JP Van 52.5. And it's the local debut. This could have a shot.
One of those horses who doesn't like the heat.
Yeah.
We heard in KwaZulu-Natal when it was quite warm, she gets a little bit worked up and a little bit distressed. So it all depends on the weather on the day about number 9, Heart's Ease. Be interesting to see how she goes with just 52.5 kilograms on her back. And then a horse like number 7, Sacred Lotus, has been taken on some fair opposition in the past. And just looking at the overall form, all 3 wins have been recorded on the turf. And of those, 2 over the distance. So quite a trappy race number 5. I'd throw number 1, Princess Khaleesi, but all in all, very, very competitive.
One more horse. Would you throw in Zitzman's horse, Anatura, with 52? It's won 2 of its last 4 races. Is it good enough to go into scrum?
Well, looking at that last run, came from a country mile back.
Yes.
Is drawn well enough with 52 on the back, so I think it is worth throwing into the larger play. So that's a wrap for race number 5. The value could be number 1, Princess Khaleesi, but as far as the field goes, as wide as your budget will allow.